All right, so second example for today, comparing explicit linear equations to exponential equations on the same table. Now this can look kind of confusing and overwhelming, but I'm going to break it down for you to make it as simple as possible, hopefully. I can see that both my linear and exponential equations in this table are starting at the same point, and in this case, on their fourth, they're going to be at the exact same point as well. So we're going to see how this works. I'm going to break down linear first, then I'll do exponential in a second. You're going to see how exponential is actually a little easier, a little less tedious than linear. So here's the first thing. The way that I'm thinking through this, the way that I rationalize this is, I want to know, I got to find my slope for my linear in order to get from this all the way to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just first find the difference between 162 and 2. I'm going to just do 162 minus 2 to get 160. Okay, I'm going to take that because now I got 160 is my difference between my beginning and my end point. I'm then going to take my number of terms that it took me to get from here to there. And the number of terms it took me to get from here to there is a total of 4. So I'm going to just divide this by 4 and I get 40. Okay, that's how you find the slope of this linear one. So now I know, for instance, I know my y-intercept, I know my slope. Now let's double check our work. Y equals 40x plus 2. All right, well, let's do this. Let's fill in this blank right here. Well, 40 times 1 is 40, plus 2 is 42. 40 times 2 is 80. 80 plus 2 is 82. 40 times 3 is 120. 120 plus 2 is 122. And 40 times 4 is 160, plus 2 is 162. So this right here figures this out. This is how you got to do this, guys. You take the difference of this end point to this beginning point to then find the difference of, to then divide by the number of terms. That's how you find your slope in this particular situation. Now, exponential, a little different. So here's how you do exponential. Remember, we're always starting with our basic. We know y equals mx plus b. So now for exponential, we know it's going to be y, or f of x equals, doesn't matter what you use right now, but f of x equals a times b to the power of x. So here's how we do this. Remember, this is the output from whatever this answer is. So here's what I can do. I know my initial value, or my a, is 2, and I know that an answer I get from whatever this function is equal to 162. So I'm going to rewrite this equation with what I know. I know this is the answer. I know this is the initial starting point. I also know to get this answer, this is to the power of 4. Watch how I do this. So I just do 162 equals 2 times b to the power of 4. I rewrote my entire equation with what I know. I urge you guys to always do this. This is a good little strategy. Now let's solve for this. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 162 divided by 2 is 81 equals b to the power of 4. Well, how do I get rid of this? I take the fourth root, not the square root, but the fourth root to undo that fourth power. And I do the fourth root of 81. And we've done this on decimals before, and I'll show you today in class if you have any questions on this. But again, the fourth root of 81 is b equals 3. Okay? So our equation for this is going to be f of x equals 2 times 3 to the power of x. All right? So now to fill in this table, 3 to the power of 1 is 3, times 2 is 6. 3 to the power of 2 is 9, times 2 is 18. 3 to the power of 3 is 27, times 2. 27 times 2 is 454. And of course, we already know that this one works out appropriately. So we are solid there. That is how you do that one. I'm going to do another one down here for you. Okay? There's some examples for me to erase this, but screenshot me, do what you got to do. Different numbers, same exact process. Okay? Same process. Don't escape the process. So first things first, we're going to find the difference of negative 20 and negative 1.25. So I just do negative 20 minus negative 1.25. And I get an answer of 18, negative 18.75. Now, I got to do negative 18.75 divided by 4 is divide this by 4, and I get an answer of 4.6875. And I know my initial starting point, so my equation for this first linear one is y equals negative 4.6875 x minus 20. Okay? So, when I do this, I have a positive because I know that I'm increasing, so this slope has to be positive to get to here. All right, that's the first things first. So now I'm just going to do negative 20 times this to 1, so this is 4.6875, and I get negative 15.3125, and then just keep on adding 4.6875. Oh, I just did this wrong. 15.3125 minus 4.6875, and I get negative 10.625. Keep going. 4.6875, and I get negative 5.9375, and then just let's make sure we end up on this number when I do this. 4.6875, and it's perfect, negative 1.25. Perfect. So I did that one correctly. That's how you do this, guys. All right. So take notes on this. This isn't that easy, but take your time with this. Same process we did over here. I know an answer, I know a power, I know the initial value. So negative 1.25 is equal to negative 20 times b to the power of 4. First things first, I divide both sides by negative 20. Okay? And 1.25 divided by negative 1.25 divided by negative 20 equals 0.0625 equals b to the power of 4. Can we see this? Okay, I think we can. Yes. Next thing, just take the fourth root. Take the fourth root of each. And I'm going to get b is equal to 0.5. Yay. Okay. So now let's put these in. Okay. So, negative 20 times 0.5, 20 times 0.5, we get negative 10. We're going to get, keep on going down by half, so this will be negative 5, this will be negative 2.5, and this will be negative 1.25. So we are solid there. That is how you do this, all right? I will answer more of these questions in today's class. I'm sure there's going to be some confusion on this, but again, follow the process. Make your life easy.